Today's Eagles now, Howie Roseman wasting no time to get the offseason underway. Busy after that Niners defeat in the wild card round, as Philadelphia is already looking ahead to 2026. The Birds have made multiple roster moves and signings. We're going to talk about that here on the show. This is Eagles Now. My name is Chase Sr. Thanks for hanging out. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button during yesterday's AM video. 30,000 plus views and counting. Thanks to everybody who watched that. We gained 138 new subscribers there, and I told you that this is your home for the best offseason coverage pertaining to the Philadelphia Eagles. So on today's show, let's continue to build a great community here on YouTube, and let's beat that number from yesterday, lock us in, and hit that subscribe button. Now, there's plenty to get into on the program here today, and it's all made possible thanks to our friends at Polymarket. It is time to challenge the status quo. Polymarket is now live to help us do so. You can be a part of the revolutionary alternative to sportsbooks with our special invite code. Download Polymarket's new app now via the link that is in the description and comments to unlock exclusive early access and a free $10 in your account with the invite code chat. Now, Polymarket is a prediction marketplace that lets you make trades on the outcomes of sporting events. And as you can see here to my right, you can even buy and sell within a game with live trading. It's a lot of fun. Polymarket has the lowest fees ever. You trade against other people, not the platform. And you can cash out anytime and react to momentum swings within the game. You are in control. It's legal and available nationwide in all 50 states on their iOS app now. And let's look ahead to one of the NFC matchups, the team that beat Philadelphia, unfortunately. Polymarket is giving Seattle a 77% chance to beat the 49ers. So the Niners only getting a 28% chance from Polymarket here. They are big underdogs in this game. So $10 free is waiting for you. No card, no deposit, nothing. Download the app with our exclusive code CHAT at chatsports.com/Polymarket for exclusive early access and $10 free. That link to download Polymarket is attached to the pinned comment of today's Philadelphia Eagles. Now, so the Eagles have signed 8 players here. Philadelphia wasting no time turning the page to 2026 and flushing what was a very maddening 2025 season. No Super Bowl defense for the Eagles. We were hoping for a long playoff run. Philadelphia gets bounced in the first round. Embarrassing loss to the Niners, and credit to Kyle Shanahan, Robert Saleh, and that Niners team for going into Lincoln Financial Field. They were more prepared. They were the better coached team. And down the stretch, as Philadelphia kept the Niners in the game, they out-executed the Eagles and had a better second half. So Howie Roseman has started to really look at the roster-building process for Philadelphia here. And I would say it's a pivotal offseason coming up for the Eagles. A lot of questions, a lot of marquee free agents, and some roster holes on this team that need to be solved. Now, you take a look at the Eagles' offseason profile here. The Eagles have a base salary cap of $20.2 million in available cap space. That is 19th in the NFL. The base salary cap for all teams in the NFL. This is total team spending. If I confuse anybody with that terminology, I apologize. It's $295.5 million. So base salary cap for all teams in the NFL to spend as of now, $295.5. That'll probably go up once the NFL tallies all of the business doings and the revenue generated for the 2025 season. Each of the last several years, that number has continued to go up and up and up because business is booming in the NFL. The Eagles' available cap space, again, 19th among 32 teams. It's $20.2 million. Hopefully I clear up any confusion there. And Philadelphia also slated to have 8 picks in the 2026 NFL Draft. Howie Roseman has made some phenomenal selections of late. I will say that outside of Jahad Campbell, Drew Makuba, the draft class in 2025, very questionable. I know it's early, but a lot of the rookies didn't play any role at all for the Eagles this past year outside of Campbell and Makuba. So you look ahead to 2026, it's a big draft class for the Eagles here. They have their own first-round pick. They have their own second-round pick. They got a third from the New York Jets. That's official. 68 overall from the Hassan Reddick trade. They have a projected compensatory pick in the 3rd round for Milton Williams signing with the Patriots. Their own 4th, a 4th round projected compensatory pick from Josh Sweat signing with Arizona. They have a 5th either from Atlanta or San Francisco. From the Niners, that would be a part of the Bryce Huff trade. And then a projected compensatory pick in the 5th round for Mekhi Becton signing with the Chargers. My biggest Eagles offseason needs, number one, by far and away, it's offensive coordinator. And then after that, you can debate it. Offensive tackle, interior offensive line, you're getting older there. And this past year, you weren't as good. And it really hurt this offense. Pass rusher, going to be important. We'll see what happens with Jalen Phillips. Cornerback, Adoree Jackson, going to be a free agent. Cooper DeJean said yesterday he wants to stay on the inside. He was a first-team All-Pro. Quinyon Mitchell, a first-team All-Pro. So obviously you have some building blocks there. Safety, what happens with Blankenship? Does he get paid by another team, or did the Eagles bring him back? Wide receiver, DeJean Dotson going to be a free agent. At the very least, you want to upgrade wide receiver 3. What happens with A.J. Brown? We talked about a potential trade last night, so be sure to check that show out. And then tight end, Dallas Goedert going to be a free agent. I imagine he tries to cash in one more time. So a big offseason coming up for Howie Roseman, both in free agency, the draft, and then some big decisions to make at OC, but with some currently existing players on the roster who were set to be free agents. As far as the players who signed futures deals with the Eagles here, you have a linebacker, Chance Campbell, who's going to be a part of the 90-man roster this offseason. Tariq Castro-Fields, the cornerback. Danny Gray at wide receiver. Gabe Hall, interior defensive lineman, who's made some appearances for the Eagles. Brandon Johnson, who started that final game in Week 18 for the Eagles, the DB there. You have Jake Majors, a center. Hollin Pierce, offensive tackle, who can also play guard. We'll see where the Eagles project him to be in the future. And then Old Steady, Quez Watkins at that wide receiver position. Let's go player by player here. Chance Campbell is probably the most intriguing player on this list who could maybe play a role for this team next year. Nakobe Dean, another marquee free agent. I'll do a perfect offseason plan a little bit later, and I'll give you the entire list of the Eagles free agents who are set to hit the open market. But Chance Campbell, a 2022 6th-round pick out of Ole Miss by the Tennessee Titans. He played some on special teams, got some defensive snaps for Tennessee after he was drafted. This is a speedy, explosive, physical linebacker who a lot of Eagles players were very impressed by what he did on the practice squad as part of the Eagles scout team. Zack Baun did a phenomenal piece on this, basically looking at the next man up from the practice squad and scout team, who really impressed a lot of the players on the 53. Here's what Saquon Barkley had to say about Chance Campbell. See this mother effer right here? Really good. Like probably one of the best scout team players I've ever gone against in my life. Jordan Mailata on Chance Campbell. Chance Campbell does a really good job of block destruction, making it really hard for us. I feel like as the weeks have progressed, I've gotten better at my second level. And just from blocking him, he's so effing fast. Cam Jurgens on Campbell. Chance Campbell, he's got probably the best punch that I've ever seen. And a few years ago, the same way that current Eagles players are talking about Chance Campbell, they were raving about Moro Ojomo. What did Moro Ojomo do this year? Had a better year this year than Milton Williams did last year and solidified himself as a really good interior defensive lineman. As far as Tariq Castro-Fields, a lot of you who root on Penn State football, he was a 2022 6th-round pick by the Niners out of Penn State. I think it was the first preseason game against Cincinnati. Tariq Castro-Fields made some really nice plays downfield at the corner spot. Danny Gray, speedy wide receiver, 4.3 speed. Really liked what he did at SMU after he was a JUCO guy. He was selected in the 3rd round by the Niners in 2022. Didn't work out with San Francisco. He was hurt. Not really a durable player, but he does have that speed component to his game. Gabe Hall, a lot of Eagles fans familiar with him. I think the Eagles traded away Thomas Booker for Jacorian Bennett because they have confidence and they like what Gabe Hall can do. UDFA defensive tackle out of Baylor, who signed with the Eagles after the 2024 NFL Draft. Some players in that Zack Baun article were also raving about Brandon Johnson as one of the scout team players who impressed them. DB out of Oregon, can kind of play all around that secondary. He signed with the Eagles as a UDFA after April's NFL draft last year. Jake Majors is a center out of Texas who I liked in the pre-draft process. He's smaller, but Jason Kelce was a smaller player coming out of Cincinnati, and he was a late-round pick. Now, I'm not comparing Jake Majors to Jason Kelce, but he's athletic and slighter, like the Kelce build. And he started off as UDFA with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and then signed with the Eagles during the season after he came back from an injury. Hollin Pierce is an intriguing offensive lineman, can play offensive tackle, maybe can play guard as well. He played his college football at Rutgers. He kind of got better as his Rutgers career progressed in the Big Ten. He signed as a UDFA with the Eagles after the 2025 NFL draft. And then there's Quez Watkins, who I was joking around about this with producer Chip. He's still somehow 27 years old. Feels like he's been in the league for a really long time. Feels like he was on the Eagles forever ago. I'll never forget the lack of ball tracking in Super Bowl 57 against Kansas City. Just an awful play there that could have changed the game for the Eagles, and we might be talking about the Birds as three-time Super Bowl champions if Quez Watkins could have come down with that pass. A critical miss for him. Good ball from Jalen Hurts. 6th-round pick by the Eagles in 2020 at a Southern Miss. To his credit, some people in that Zack Baun article looking at these scout team practice squad players have said, given Quez is a veteran and how seriously he takes like route running and his process, he prepared this Eagles defense by the looks that he gave on that scout team. Don't forget to give me a follow on all of my social media platforms. I'm adding my Facebook here as well, Chase Senior Chat Sports, because it's been taken off over there. 16,000 followers there. Recently launched at TikTok. We're over 6,300. On X, already up to 20,000 followers. And then on IG, 45,000 plus. Really appreciate the support. Give me a follow. I'm putting up additional Eagles coverage on that front.